Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing a really fun one. It is Psycho Killer by Talking Heads. The band I played in high school used to cover this song, and it was always such a fun song to play live, a real crowd pleaser, so I have really warm associations with playing it. I'm going to be basing the energy off of the studio version. Harmonically, I'm going to be basing it a bit off the live version from Stop Making Sense. I think you're going to enjoy playing this one. Let's just jump in. Okay, so first things first, I definitely recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. I put a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words. And maybe let's start with the bass line that makes up the verses and also the intro and the sort of instrumental interludes. So throughout this song, we're just going to be counting in 4/4 time, just feeling that quarter note pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to also, for some of the rhythms, we're going to need to count eighth notes, which is the sort of upbeats in between those downbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And basically for this bass line, the left hand is just going to be playing on all those quarter notes, mostly on A's. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the melody lasts 2 measures. You're mostly just hanging out on the A on all the chord notes, but then on the and after 3 and beat 4 of the second measure, you play a E and a G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Repeat it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I'm using my second finger on that A. It doesn't matter too much. You could use your thumb. This feels the most kind of balanced and natural for my hand. So that's how the song starts. It just goes around just the bass line like that for 4 repetitions, and then the right hand chords are going to come in. It's going to sound like this. It's going to do that twice. So here's what those chords look like. It's A minor for the first measure, then A minor for the first 3 counts of the second measure, and then a G. So for the A minor, it's A, C, and E. And then for the G, it's going to be similarly shaped. You're just going to step it down, also all white keys. G, B, D. And I don't want to go down too deep a rabbit hole here, but here's the deal. On the Stop Making Sense version of this recording, David Byrne is playing an A minor for the verses. And all the contextual clues, the chords that are used in the song, and also the vocal melody implies that this A would be minor. But on the studio version, there's a guitar doing this, which basically implies a dominant 7, which is a major with the black key in the middle, the D flat. Both work. The studio version is a little bit more dissonant sounding. The guitars throughout that recording are a little bit more strange and tense sounding. And it really is kind of either or both. It's really kind of a psychological thing. I suspect that for a lot of you, the A minor is going to sound correct, but some of you might hear this song as definitely being major for the A's. So I'm going to do it minor, but you can totally just, instead of the A, C, E for the A chord, you could do the G, D flat, and E, and that'll sound more like the studio recording. So take your pick. I'm going to be doing minor though. So once you know which version of A you're going to play, we're going to do it on beat 2 and 4 of that first measure. So you're kind of just doing every other hit that the left hand's doing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then on beat 4 here you do the G, and it matches up where the bass line goes to that G bass note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax. I can't sleep 'cause my bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. So yeah, there you have it. That's the verses. It might take you a little bit to get the hang of that rhythm and to get enough muscle memory that you can play it and sing it at the same time. So I just jumped in full speed there, but definitely take your time building up to it. Okay, so for the chorus, we're going to use some of those A minors, some of those Gs. We're also going to need an F major, which is going to be F, A, C. So once again, same shape, all white keys. And then we're also going to do a C major, and we're going to do a inversion on that. So maybe a C would normally be like that. We'll take the G down here. It's going to be a G, C, and E. And for any of those, the left hand is just going to play an octave lower the note that the chord was named after. So F, G, A, C. Maybe I'll do that with my thumb there. And here's the chord progression for the chorus. So I'll build up the rhythm a little bit in a minute, but the general vibe is like, psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh, and then it kind of keeps going like that. So one thing you can add to make it feel a little bit more like the real thing would be when you get to those two measures of A minor there, to do the bass line that goes. And also the guitars kind of stop there and it's just the bass. So you would maybe just play the A minor there and then do that bass line. So what that is just going back and forth between A and G on 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you go back and forth 3 times, and then on the 4th count of that second measure, you just kind of hit the quarter note. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then to get a little bit more energy, I'm going to do a bit of a more active rhythm with my right hand. It's going to sound like this. So I'm going to hit, we need to think in eighth notes again here. I'm going to hit on beat 1, the and after 2, and 4. So 1 and 2, and 3, and 4. And again, 1 and 2, and 3, and 4. And of course, the left hand is just pulsing the quarter note. 1 and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1 and 2, and 3, and 4, and so I'm just kind of, you can practice it on that F chord a little bit. Another way to think about that rhythm would be together, left, right, left, together, together, left, right, left, together. It might feel tricky at first. I promise you, if you just sit there and map it out like I just did, taking it slow and then gradually speeding it up, it'll click into place. You'll get that muscle memory, and that's what will allow you to kind of play it on autopilot while you sing. And it's a really useful rhythm. You'll be able to work it into other songs in the future once you get the hang of it. So I'll do a playthrough here of the whole chorus. Another little element is I'm going to be using the sustain pedal in this section, just holding it down with a little lift every time I change the chord. If you need help getting used to that timing, I made a video all about sustain pedal lifts. I didn't use the sustain pedal in the verses though. And I'm not going to use it on the moment where the left hand's just doing that bass line, but all the F's and G's and C chords I am. So here it is. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh, psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that's a little too high for me. But so there we are at the end of the chorus, and after those G's, we're just gonna drop right into an interlude, which is just 2 times through that verse thing. You start a conversation. So then we are in the second verse. It's just like the first verse, just different words. So after that verse, we've got another chorus, just like the first chorus, and then we've got the bridge, which is kind of the final section we have to learn here. A couple new chords here. We're gonna need a B minor. That's gonna be a B, D, and an F sharp. And then we're also going to need an A major. So on both versions, regardless of whether the A is minor or major in the verses, there is a major A in the bridge, and it's just a regular A, not that A7 I mentioned as an option, but an A, just A, D flat, and E. So here's the chord progression for this section. And one other thing to mention is for the G's in the first line, the ones that kind of go back and forth with the B minor, I'm gonna do an inversion on that. Rather than going down to the G in root position like we've been doing, we're gonna do this, where when you're doing a B minor, you're already doing these two notes. So you can just take that pinky and move it up to a high G for that chord change. And that's more accurate to the guitar voicing anyway. So I'm going to play this through, and then I'm going to talk through some more advanced options for it as well. But it sounds like this.
Ce que j'ai fait ce soir-là.
So just pulsing quarter notes with both hands.
Ce qu'elle a dit ce soir-là.
Réalisons mon espoir. So just holding the right hand now.
Je me lance vers la gloire.
So that would be the transition into the verse. So a couple things to mention there. First off, I don't speak French really. I'm just kind of doing the pronunciation phonetically. So I apologize if I'm butchering that at all. When it got to the last line with the yeah, I started just kind of easing back into that offbeat, more energetic rhythm there. You could even like build it up by doing eighth notes. I think just kind of pulsing there, building some anticipation for the final verse is good. So other than that, on the recording, the studio version, there's a really cool bass line happening. It sounds like this. Then it does it again. So it does this for the first lines. It's totally optional, I think. I may throw it in, but basically you're just playing on every quarter note exactly like we would be doing in the kind of the first version, where you're just hitting the roots of the chords. But the left hand is just walking down from F sharp, E, D, D flat, B, A, B, D flat. So that's the pattern. So that's what happens during the two measures of B minor. And then for the two measures of G, it just goes from G, F sharp, E, D. It does that twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So definitely throw that in if it sounds good to you. Makes it a little harder to play and sing at the same time, but it's interesting. Okay, after that bridge, we have the third verse. Couple interesting things about this verse. It is shorter. It's just 2 times through the full progression. Also, on the Stop Making Sense version, the one that I've been basing it off of with the A minor, he actually does do an A major in this verse. So he's kind of playing with it. It really can be either. For my version, maybe I will follow his lead there. And just for this one verse, I'm going to do it with that A dominant 7, the A7 for
We are vain and we are blind. I hate people when they're not polite.
But if that sounds really weird to you, you can totally just keep it A minor as well. So that would be leaning into the final chorus. It's just like the other choruses. And then that final chorus can just go right into an outro, which can just go right back to that bit. On the studio version, it kind of drags on for a while. I think it actually fades out and there's some different guitar solo-y stuff happening. Doesn't work too well on piano. I'll probably just go through that bass line and chords like 4 times and then just kind of end it. Maybe on the G. That sounds kind of cool. Or you could also resolve it to the A minor so it really sounds final. Okay, so that's everything. Well, actually, wait. There's one more thing I forgot to do. Going all the way back to the intro, when you're doing those 4 repetitions of the bass line before the chord rhythm comes in. On the studio version, there's this little guitar chord that happens. I think it's like harmonics on the guitar. So you could just add that and let it ring out. I'm just doing an inversion on a G chord. D, G, B. It's pretty cool. I'm going to throw that in. All right, thanks for sticking with me. I am now going to play the whole song so you can see how all these parts we've learned fit together in the complete cover. If you enjoyed this, definitely subscribe, click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this. Give the video a like, and let me know in the comments what songs you would like to hear me do next. All right, here's my version of Psycho Killer. Seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax. I can't sleep 'cause my bed's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. You start a conversation, you can't even finish it. You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything. When I have nothing to say, my lips are sealed. Say something once, why say it again? Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh, 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 aïe, 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 aïe. C'est que j'ai fait ce soir-là. C'est qu'elle a dit ce soir-là. Réalisons mon espoir. Je me lance vers la gloire, ok? Yeah, 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 yeah. We are vain and we are blind. I hate people when they're not polite. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh, oh, oh. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, run.